Hi, I'm Emma, and I did Wisdom in Following Your Path. I kind of did this because with graduation, with Following Your Path, I think it's especially relevant with college students. I think that we've spent the last 4 years studying something that you knew you wanted to do, and now graduation comes, and you kind of have the pressures of figuring out what you want to do next, figuring out your job. And a lot of times, like for me, this is super relevant because I've spent 4 years in exercise science, and I knew what I wanted to do, but then when I applied to grad school, I got waitlisted, so and stuff like that kind of like is a little bump in the road, but I know what I want to do, so it's kind of like trusting in your path and relying on like what you feel inside. So with trusting in your path, I kind of figured out that Christianity had a good approach to this, so I found a quote from Proverbs. It was, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart and do not lean on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will make straight your paths." So with this, it's kind of like Christianity had the approach that only God knows your plan, and that you just have to trust in God, and instead of relying on your own understanding, just trusting that he understands better than you. And with this, I found an article that I really liked. It was "The Insanity of Leaning on Your Own Understanding." It had a really good quote that I liked. I didn't put it on here, but I'll read it for you. "You see, in order to handle the knowledge of good and evil, one must possess the ability to completely comprehend all possible options and contingencies, the righteousness and wisdom to choose the right course, and the power to make reality conform to the right course." So this is kind of saying that only God has that overall understanding, that like omnipotence of things like that. So we have to trust in the Lord, because if we rely on our own intellect, then we won't know as much as if we rely on God's intellect. And I liked that he had a quote in there. It said, "The things that cause us the most difficulty are a result of relying too much on our own understanding." So it was kind of talking about how the things that cause us the most anxiety are because we think that we know the right thing to do, and then it ends up being the wrong thing to do. When in reality, if you can trust in God's plan for you, then it will cause you less heartbreak than yourself. So then with the Tao, I found a quote that I really liked. "If you realize that all things change, there is nothing you will try to hold on to. If you aren't afraid of dying, there is nothing you can't achieve. Trying to control the future is like trying to take the master carpenter's place. When you handle the master carpenter's tools, chances are that you'll cut yourself." So this kind of relates to the Christianity idea that the overall power has more understanding than you do. So trusting in that knowledge will help you. So with this also, I thought of following your path also with failure, what I was talking about earlier, like the little bumps in the road, things that happen. And I like this quote that said, "Fail often so you can succeed sooner." So with this, kind of like this is learning from when you trust in your own understanding over God's understanding for you. When you fail, you kind of learn not to do that, and then not to do that again. So then I like that with the succeed sooner part. So I also liked failing as part of the process towards following your path. So kind of like the idea of fate also kind of lies into that religious trusting in someone that's higher than you, whether it's God or someone else. And then learning from your mistakes. And then that was the article I used. It's called "The Insanity of Leaning on Our Own Understanding."